Right. Let's see. All right, we are live. I had to look a second. Oh my God. All right, everybody. Good evening. Whew, what a day. All the days are getting that way though lately, right? So, before we jump into anything, I just want to remind everybody that this is a very family-friendly oriented channel. I would ask you all to please be decent in the chat. No racism, no nastiness. If you cannot abide by those very simple, easy rules, those awesome people lit up in blue with the blue wrenches will boot you out of here because we are not going to have it. Okay, that's as simple as that. I can't make it any clearer than that. So, first of all, somebody in the chat just put out there Bobby Knight just passed away. He was 83. One of the most interesting, colorful coaches, very famous for his meltdowns and flipping out and stuff like that as a manager, but very celebrated at the same time. But he got to a point where, of course, he was flipping out on some players. I think in practice, yeah, throwing chairs, the whole 9 yards. Yep, was flipping out on some players in practice, and with this new, more woke environment mindset, he was relieved of duties, and that was the end of his career at that point. But definitely will be remembered as a very interesting individual. Some people liked him, some people didn't. The one thing that you could definitely not say he was not, that he wasn't passionate. He was very passionate when it came to basketball. So, but anyway, so he has passed away. The Chandler Bing character, obviously from Friends, 54, found basically drowned in his hot tub, and so very interesting with that situation because it's like they're playing it safe, and they're like, well, toxicology reports have to be done to determine the cause of death. You're talking about an individual, unfortunately, that had a long history of drug abuse, and so would not shock me if drugs or alcohol, um, you know. Bobby Knight, Karen. Bobby Knight was the first one. So, but yeah, and Matthew Perry was the other one, drowned in a hot tub. So I'm thinking, possibility of drugs and alcohol being a factor in that. Unfortunately, it does happen. So, but anyway, so this morning I woke up this morning, uh, and I looked outside and I went, "You got to be freaking kidding me!" Uh, I've been talking about for the last 3 months down here. If we got 2 inches of rain, I think in the last 3 months, it's a lot of rain. We have not had very much at all. So, but woke up this morning, looked outside. There was a coating of snow on the ground, and it was snowing. And I'm like, you gotta be kidding me. Uh, Grace Slick is still alive and kicking at 87. That's cool. Yeah. Yeah, there's a lot of them out there that are still alive. I mean, it's, that's the weird, I'll tell you right now. That is the weirdest thing with getting older, and you're watching all these people that, you grew up with, that were, legends, if you will. And Dick Van Dyke is still alive. I read Matthew Perry didn't even remember being on Friends. I don't know. I mean, yeah, who knows with that situation. So yeah, it's he. I mean, they those all of those characters, okay, that played on that show. I mean, just in royalties, what they get paid every year from royalties from that show, they would never have to work again. So, greetings from an all cold and snowy central New York. Well, it was 24 here this morning, so that was definitely cold this morning. But yeah, it's just like I said again, it's one of those things that you just never know. With that, like how is Ozzy Osbourne still alive? What's Ozzy's got to be like 72 now or something to that effect? But you're talking about an individual that had a rock style style. I mean, what Mick Jagger? He's 80, right? Yeah, or Keith Richards, right? He's right up there as well. How is he alive too, right? Yeah, so it's amazing how some of these people, hang on and they're, and they're doing fine and yeah, chemically preserved. It's about right too, man. Um, Lana said, "I didn't get the notification again. I wish they would quit playing games." I wish they would too. That's why I think probably the biggest thing is consistency with the channel. I live stream the same days every week, Wednesday, Friday, and on Sunday night, 8 o'clock. That never changes. So if you're not getting those notifications, definitely check. I rarely take a day off. Once in a while, I'll take a day off, but it's not very often. But yeah, it's just unless there's something that I have, you know, that is your ladder a little giant. Yes, Larry, the ladder that I was using that you saw in the first part of the video was a little giant. Love that ladder. That is an awesome ladder. Uh, really, just it's been really really cool. So, and then of course, obviously, I ended up going and getting the extension ladder, and that one worked really good for the second part of that. So, but I'm glad I got that done yesterday because I didn't even realize it was going to be that. Yeah, well, Willie Nelson's 90, I think, Okie Forge. So, yeah, all those people that we grew up watching, a lot of them are getting up there now. So it is, it's quite amazing. You look at, you know, Heather Locklear, all those folks from that time period. Their YouTube is canceling my subs. Oh, not shocking. I've been dealing with that for a year. So, oh, Troy's been getting over pneumonia. Yeah, that's no fun. How did I? How do I get my chickens from scratching the straw out of their laying nests? The best way to do that is, it has to be a box. It's got to be four sides and even. You can't have like one end completely open. If you have an end completely open, you got to box off part of that because otherwise they will scratch it out. So the best way, Mary, to deal with that. So if you have a box and it's open and it's closed three sides except for the front, make sure you have a partial front up as well, and they won't scratch it out. Then they might scratch a little out, but not very much. Yeah, William Shatner. Yep, he's another one that's still around. Yeah, it's amazing. Um, like I said, what Dick Dyke is 90. What is he, like 98, 99 years old, something like that? I mean, he's up there. I know. I remember that. And you wonder, I mean, it's like, well, I'll tell you one, Betty White. I loved Betty White, and she was 99, and I was like rooting for her to make 100, and she didn't. Bob Barker was another one. He was 99. So, it's like you see that and just go, my goodness, that is unbelievable. Yep, just do that, Mary, and you should be okay. But yeah, it's Dick Van Dyke's 97. Okay, yeah, I knew he was up there. But yeah, you look at those. Yeah, Henry Kissinger. Yeah, he's 100 years old, and people forget too. He just went over and on a diplomatic mission with, I believe it was Russia. He was talking with. It's, and so obviously his mind still has to be sharp, unlike somebody else we know that's in the White House whose mind is absolutely not sharp. So, oh, very interesting. Bob Barker was 99. Yep, he was 99. And somebody had made it. Obviously, made a joke out of it. They were like, they liked the fact that he was 99 and didn't go over 100 because the wheel, spinning the wheel. So I remember that. People are, it's that twisted sense of humor type of thing, which is absolutely fine. So, so we got 383 in the chat, guys. We got 114 on the thumbs up. So if you have not shot a thumbs up yet, please do so to show support for the channel. And I do really appreciate that. It really does make a huge, huge difference with the algorithms as well. So the more interaction that we have, the better off for the channel it will be. I do appreciate that as well. Also, again, if you are not subscribed to the channel, please subscribe. Yeah, Clint Eastwood's still around. Yep. Please subscribe. Make sure you hit that bell icon to get all notifications as well. Not that they always give them, but you should do that. And if you're not getting notifications, you know, check that and see if they've turned, because I'll do that too. YouTube does that game too. They'll turn off all notifications. So a lot of times what you have to do is then unsubscribe, resubscribe, and hit all notifications again. It's just, unfortunately, it is one of those things that we have to deal with YouTube. It's one of the games that they play. So that's how that goes, unfortunately. So, but anyway, so we're video, right? We're already almost 12 minutes in, and we haven't touched on the real topic yet at all. How is that not surprising, right? But how bad are things getting? It's like, here's what I find interesting. Okay, so they were doing meetings and hearings and all that, and protesters are in there, with the blood on their hands, and oh, stop the war, stop the war. It ain't our war, right? We're technically, we're not at war right now. Not that we don't have our hand deep in the, deeply involved in there, but technically we're not at war. So I don't know if you guys saw Netanyahu was on there today, and the UN was calling for a ceasefire. And a ceasefire honestly helps Hamas. Absolutely, it helps Hamas. And they have basically said, that they are not going to, do a ceasefire because, I mean, think about the equivalent of. Let's look at the equivalent of, right? When December 7th happened, right, Pearl Harbor, or we'll use that one as a comparison. Did we say at that point, oh, you know what, we better do a ceasefire to try to figure out what's going on, and why these people attacked us and killed all these innocent people, right? Did we do that? No. We got ready, we got through it, we went and did what we had to do. Israel's doing the same thing. Again, you know what? Either, and I honestly, I be honest, I don't care if you're pro-Israel or anti-Israel, pro-Palestine or Hamas. I could care less what your stance is, to be honest with you. You have to look at the situation. You have to make a choice, and go from there. But to me, when with that kind of attack and the brutality of what Hamas did in that attack, I don't blame Israel at all. And you know what? When you have, they basically, the one hospital they're talking about, they're telling them to Israel's basically saying get out of that hospital, because they know that Hamas has their underground headquarters under that hospital. So they use, again, human shields of people to make sure their infrastructure, if you will, stays intact. Well, if Israel decides that's it, they warned them, they told them to get out, and they don't, and they blow up the house, and they get the people underneath, so be it. I mean, you have to really make a decision what you're going to do. And Israel ain't playing around, folks. They're just not. And I don't. Again, I will. I'm not rah 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 Israel. I'm not. Okay. I don't have anything against the Jews. I could care less about the Jews. They're what happens over there realistically has no effect on what I do whatsoever. But the situation is, um, the situation is not a good situation. And and with what's happening and with the way it was done, I don't blame Israel. And if they wanted to turn the entire area into a parking lot, I would not blame them. Yeah, it's too late to play kissy kissy. Why are you going to do a ceasefire, right? Why are you going to do a ceasefire? These people hate them. They want to see their destruction. So Israel's like, okay, enough is enough, and they're going to do what they got to do. Which, like I said again, I 100% support that action when you are attacked the way that they were attacked. And, so that's, like I said, again, everybody can have their own view on that, and that's perfectly fine. Guess what? I respect your view, whatever it may be, one way or the other. Doesn't make you right, doesn't make me wrong. I just know that there's no way after December 7th, right, Pearl Harbor, that we would have stopped and said, "Oh, let's take a pause. Let's think about this. Let's see what we're going to do about this." No way we would have done that. No way, right? So that's to put it into that perspective. I hope people will figure that out. And all these protesters with all that type of nonsense. Hey, you know what? Yeah, this is why knowing history is important. Absolutely, absolutely. And the thing is, we ended up, if you got anybody that follows history, how did we get Japan to surrender, right? Nagasaki, we dropped a bomb on Nagasaki, and then Hiroshima, I think, was the other one, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, Hiroshima was the other one. We dropped two nuclear bombs on that country, and forced them to surrender because we had that technology and that power. Oh, and guess what? If anybody remembers, was there women and children and innocent people in Hiroshima or Nagasaki? I'm going to go out on a limb and say yes, right? But it was a complete show of force that made them surrender. Exactly. Mad Medic One just said. So we do it, right? We do it all the time. We still do it in modern history. Drone strikes. We, the United States of America, the good guys, we do that. So, don't I hate when people, want to paint us in this picture that, oh, we never do, these bad things. You do what you have to. When you are in a war situation, women and children are going to die. That's a fact. Old people are going to die. That's a fact. Injured people are going to die. It's a fact. So, wrap your heads around it, deal with it, because that's reality. That's life. So, everybody has a choice and a decision on what they want to do and how they want to do it. If you don't like it, then don't be involved in it. That was unnecessary, Ed. They were already surrendered. Who was already surrendered? Vlad K. When we dropped the first bomb, they did not surrender right away. When we dropped the second bomb, that's when they surrendered. But don't piss off anybody you can't fire, and don't attack a country you can't defeat. Exactly. That's a really good point. So no, they when we dropped the first bomb, we asked Japan to surrender, and they wouldn't. That's why we dropped the second bomb. Once we dropped the second bomb, then Japan surrendered. So, again, know your history. I study history, guys. I think history is important because history repeats itself over and over and over and over again. History repeats itself. So, you have to pay attention to it. It's a big part of everything. So, but anyway, again, it's Is it a good situation? Of course not. But again, do were the and let's remind everybody, right? Let's remind every. I'm putting this out here because again, history repeats itself over and over and over again. And I will tell you, as a result of the situation, what is happening now, right? When Hamas attacked Israel, the people were not able to defend themselves. Why were they not able to defend themselves? Let's think about it, right? Why was the Israelis, the citizens that were attacked, why were they not able to defend themselves, right? Because the Israeli government had disarmed the citizenry. They were not allowed to have guns. They were not allowed to be able to defend themselves. Remember that, okay? Pay attention to those type of things because those things are just as important as everything else. After that attack that happened, the Israeli government said, yes, now you can be armed. And they have given the citizenry weapons to be able to defend themselves. Do you think the death toll might not have been as high if the Israeli citizens had been able to defend themselves? I almost guarantee it, okay? I almost guarantee it would not have been as high. But when you have the government disarm you, there's no way to defend yourself. And so when you are attacked by an enemy that wants to annihilate you, you can't do anything about it. So that's something really important to pay attention to. And it should be something that every American watching that situation, Vlad K. Ed, so you're for collective punishment. I love it when people, Vlad K. I'll explain it really simply for you. Okay, really simple for you. When you are at war with somebody, you do what you have to do. I also am a big believer, Vlad K. When you are at war with somebody, once you take over that territory, you keep it. You keep it. Okay. War is war. There is what I think, Vlad K. What you don't understand about. I mean, I don't know if you served or haven't served. I don't know if you have or not. And there's no judgment either way. First of all, before I make this statement, war is not pretty. War is not nice. There realistically are not rules when you're at war. Collateral damage. They have really pretty names for it, but the reality of war is this: children die in war. Old people die in war. Women die in war. That's it. That's the reality. Now, a lot of soldiers also die, but war is not. It's not sitting around the fire singing "Kumbaya." I mean, this is not a touchy-feely type of situation when you're at war. It's brutal. It's ugly. Unfortunately, and I do say unfortunately because innocent people do die. So, I collective punishment, well, if you're culpable in a situation and you've allowed as a country your government to do whatever it's going to do, shouldn't you be held responsible as well? Wasn't Germany? Let me ask you this, guys. Okay, let's talk about this. However you want to put it. Wasn't Germany held accountable for what their leaders did, right? And here's the other thing, what I always found amazingly interesting. The judgment, right? You're a soldier in the army, okay? Don't matter what army. Pick any army in the world. You are a soldier of that army. And you are given an order. And you are told to do this, as the German soldiers were told to do with the death camps and the labor camps. Oh, yeah, the Japanese also had labor camps where Vlad K said, I'm for peace. Well, and that's cool. That's cool. I'm not. You're fine, brother. You're fine. I'm not like trying to hammer on you. I'm not. Okay, so I don't want you to think that I'm trying to hammer on you, but it's a whole different ball game when you're at war. The Japanese had basically death camps too. The Bataan Death March. How many soldiers, surrendered soldiers, were brutalized and killed on the Bataan Death March? Again, pay attention to history, right? Horrible, horrible situation. Peace, a lot of times, if you will, comes through strength, and remember also, something else to remember: who writes history? right? Who writes history? Does Germany get a say in how the history goes of their situation? Nope. You know why they don't? Because they lost. All right. Victories or victors write history. That's it. You know, that's it. Victors write history. So, um, again, what did we do? We'll throw. I'll throw another example at you. What did we do during World War II to Japanese Americans, right? People that had Japanese ancestry that were living on the West Coast. Do you remember what we did to those American citizens in World War II? Who remembers that? Because again, pay attention to the history and you will understand. We put them in internment camps. We had them locked up. They had done nothing wrong other than being Japanese. That's it. That was their only crime. Or they weren't Japanese, they were Americans with Japanese ancestry. They were put into internment camps. We locked them up. Okay, it's reality. You know, everybody. So here's another one. I'm going to throw another one out at here, you guys, and you have to pay attention to these things because it's really hugely important. They talk about how us as Americans, how awful we were to the Indians and how we treated the Indians terribly, and we killed the Indians and we took their land. Right? We took it and we took it over, which we did, right? We did. There's no ifs, ands, or buts. You can't sugarcoat that in any way, shape, or form. But what people fail to remember is the Indian tribes, the stronger tribes, went in and beat the weaker tribes. And what they would do in a lot of cases, if a child was under a certain age, they brought them in and raised them as their own. And when I say a certain age, I'm talking like 5, 6 year olds, right? And you know, if they're babies, they killed them, right? They killed all the women, they killed all the other children that were older. They killed all of them, but the young ones that would not have a memory were brought into the tribe and they were raised up there. And guess what those Indians did when they took over a territory? They kept it and they killed everybody, right? So, you know, that's reality of war. War is a thing. It's not a pretty thing. It's not a good thing. Trust me. How many times have I said? How many times have I said if we could channel the energy in the money that we put into war, right, and killing each other, and put that into positive things, growing food, getting water squared away, doing all those things, trillions, not billions of dollars, folks, trillions of dollars are spent on war all over the world, all kinds of countries. It's what they do, and that's what happens. Yeah, those who don't remember history are doomed to repeat it. Exactly. One thing I remember more than anything else, what precipitated the fall of Germany or the rise up of the Nazis in Germany, they disarmed the populace. Disarmed the populace. Let's think about this. Let's go with Australia. And I love my Australians that watch the channel, so please don't think I'm picking on you guys or hammering on you guys, right? But you look at with the lockdowns in Australia and what happened over there during the whole pandemic. And the people that didn't want to do this, right, were dragged away and locked up. Had they been able to defend themselves, right, from tyranny, right, of government, uh, yeah, they burned books too, yeah, and all that type of stuff, all that type of stuff. But if they had been able to defend themselves from tyranny, right, wow, what would have happened then? Wouldn't have happened. Wouldn't have happened like that. So, you know, we have these idiot politicians like Harris going over to Australia talking about how we need to do the same thing Australia did, you know, it's ridiculous. Never going to happen. Hey, RC Kev, thank you very much. I appreciate that. And because of that, I will open this up, which I hadn't done yet, and I will have a drink. Guy got me rolling, guys. So, as I said before to you, as I said before, if Israel had been the ones that started going in and just butchering people, um, in the West Bank. If they had done that, and if the Palestinians, with Hamas as their leaders, had been able to go in and do to retaliate, I would be the same way. I would be like, you know what? They got every right to do it. So I don't want you to think I'm just all, rah rah rah. I'm pro Jewish. It's not a matter of that. It's pro not being attacked and brutalized by other people that just want to see you die. Oh yeah, why? Why? Let's think about this. Hold on a second. Why do the Palestinians, Hamas, in that region of the world want to kill the Israelis? Why do they want them all dead? Oh, that's right. That's right. They want to kill them because of religion. They want them to die because of religion. I'm telling you what, and you may think I'm full of crap when I say this, but I want you to realize this, okay? More people, and do the history, pay attention, go look it up, right? More people have died in the name of religion. Don't matter which one, put any one of them out there that you want to put out there, than any other way in the history of mankind. More people have died in the name of religion than any other way, period, from the beginning of time. Dawn Hill. Yup, exactly. I don't like you because you are a different religion than me, so I'm going to kill you. The Holy Wars, right? All religious based. All religious based. So, you know, we're a religion of peace until you don't believe what we believe, and then we're going to kill you. So, I don't buy it. I just, like I said, again, understanding history, understanding the mindsets of people, and at the end of the day, and I will call it, well, let's call it organized religion. We'll just go, so that's a broad spectrum. I'm not picking on any one religion. We're going to talk about organized religion, right? Organized religion. Organized religion is about three things, my friends. Three things. Three things and three things only: power, control, and money. Power, control, and money. That's what it comes down to. And whatever God you pray to in the sky, be it Buddha, Allah, God, whatever one you believe in. One thing I know for sure: you don't need your money. That I know. Okay, that I know. So, um, again, call me a lunatic, call me crazy, but I pay attention and I look at history, and stuff like, it's West Virginia egg time. Right now we got two egg counts, guys. So we'll go ahead. Yeah, we have the New York egg count, and right now we have the West Virginia egg count because we only have three hens down here right now. So right now it's still pretty easy. Um, yeah, the Vatican is the most rich organization in the world. The Vatican, with Vatican City and the amount of money that they have, they could make a difference in the world. They could make a huge difference. And I'm talking about hunger and all that type of stuff. And do they do that? No, they do not. So anyway, so let's go ahead. We will be getting more chickens here in West Virginia, by the way. So we're going to do West Virginia egg count first. We got three hens right now here in West Virginia. So I'll let you guys get your guesses of how many eggs that we got out of the three hens today here in West Virginia, and we will go from that. So, but like I said, again, very, very, very cold day down here. We're going to have, when we do our next get together, we're probably one of the focuses is going to be on is a chicken coop. So we're going to be working on that, and we're going to be getting ready for that, to do that type of a build, and so we're gonna do that. But no, guys, three hens cannot lay four eggs, and there is no thick neck. We're not doing the other egg count. We're doing the West Virginia egg count. All right. So anyway, I'm going to go ahead and put this out. You got to pay attention, guys. Details are important. Details are important. So the West Virginia egg count tonight, if you had the same guess as Pennsylvania Granny up in the Pennsylvania Wilds with one egg today, then you are correct. And I'm actually surprised I got the one egg. It was cold all day. I mean, like I'll tell you right now, I'll tell you what the temperature is right now. We didn't make 40 degrees today. So we did not make 40 degrees. And it was, right now, it's 29 degrees outside right now. So, yeah, it's definitely chilly. So, uh, but yeah, so that's what's going on there. But so the West Virginia egg count is one. So congratulations to Pennsylvania Granny on winning that one. But it's, and we're going to be warming up down here. We got a couple of days. Let me look. Actually, I'll tell you what. I'll just look at this real quick, and then I'll just share it with you guys. Yeah, tomorrow we're going to be looking at a high of 52 and mostly sunny. So I'm looking forward to that. But again, overnight, like tonight, it'll be down to 23. Tomorrow we're looking at 52 for a high and then 26 overnight. Friday is going to be sunny as well. It's going to be 61 and 33. And then, we have some, like Saturday is going to be 63 and then 38 at night. So it's going to warm up, more. But, you're going to have, it's, late fall. So we did get snow. We got a dusting of snow. It was all gone by this afternoon, but it was snowing this morning. It was absolutely snowing this morning. So, but yeah, no bugs. That's for sure. That's the one good thing. Yeah, the roads were the see where I'm at. Okay, where I'm at, they don't salt our roads right away. The roads that get salted are the main roads. So if you go out, realize that those side roads are going to be, they're going to be slick. So it's going to be really slick, and they were not fun this morning. So, but anyway, yeah. So it's that there is, you know, power, control, and money, and that's my take on it. Like I said, you can believe me or not believe me. Like I said, and when I say organized religion, like the Catholic Church, Catholicism would be an example of organized religion. You know, and they're and what I find interesting, they have a hardline stance on things for years and years and years and years and years, and then all of a sudden, well, yeah, this is okay now, or that's okay, and all this type of stuff. They just pander. A lot of organized religions do. They pander to whatever is the in thing now because they want to keep that money flowing in. That's what it comes down to. So, but that's besides the point. I just the going back to the situation right now over there with Israel, the West Bank, dealing with Hamas. I have no problem with Israel's doing. There's always going to be collateral damage in war, and again, that's a nice fancy word. That's a very fancy word for saying that innocent people die, right? Always collateral damage. We guys, what amazes me that a lot of people don't get it. We have been doing that forever and ever and ever. And when I say we, I'm talking about the United States of America. That's what we've done. Drone strikes, and people don't see. Here's the sad thing, okay? A lot of people know what we do. They talk about drone strikes. This drone strike took out terrorist XYZ. Whoever we decided was the terrorist, and we decided now we're going to kill them, right? When we do that, what you see, what happens is exactly what happens. Innocent people die in those drone strikes. And it's just to get the bad guy, they don't care. We, the United States of America, we don't care. So, we do what we have to do, and then we justify it. And yeah, there was collateral damage, they'll say, but we got the bad guy, right? So, it just, it amazes me that people think when they think of America that like, oh, we're the good guys. Guys, we're the biggest bullies in the world. I will be the first to say that. We're the biggest bullies in the world. And so, but Yeah, we America have been in just about every major war. Yep. Well, and and it took an event like Pearl Harbor to get us into the Second World War because we had people did not want to be in the Second World War. If you go back and look, we didn't get involved in that war until after December 7th in '41. And they'd been fighting over in Europe for a couple of years at that point. So the opinion of Americans was no, we do not want to be involved in this war, and they wanted it to be kept out of the war. And then it took an event, obviously, and and the rest is history, as they say. You know, but and Japan had it completely right when the commander of the naval thing said, he goes, all I think we've done is awoken a sleeping giant. And like I said, you get us going, you piss us off, and you get us united. We're no joke. We are no joke. We're a mess right now. The United States of America is an absolute mess. I will tell you that right now. Yamoto said that. Yes, Dale from Ohio. Yep, that was the commander that said that, and he was right. And it ended up being their doom. Because if you can unite people behind a cause, oh, let's see. What was another recent event that happened that united Americans, and they ended up getting us into two wars that one lasted 20 years and the other one, we were over there. We're still over. We're still over there, right? Yeah, 9/11 is another great example. Weapons of mass destruction in Iraq. Oh my God, we got to be so afraid. They're the bad guys. They're the boogeymen. Russell Brand made a statement which I thought was really, really interesting. Okay. How are gas prices going down? You know what? That's a great. I have no idea. I think they're bringing them down just before the holiday season, and because of you watch and see what'll happen. Just before Thanksgiving hits, the gas prices will go back up again. It happens every year because people are traveling, people are going out to visit family, and they're going to do it no matter what the gas prices are. So they cut them back a little bit right now, and you know, but anyway, we got into these situations, and the boogeyman and Al Qaeda, and they use going back to what Russell Brand had said, and he was on a talk show, and I thought what he said was brilliant, brilliant. He was talking about, he goes, when you have a military industrial complex, that's what we are. We're the United States. That's what we are, right? He said, and then you have big pharma, and as long as there is profit with the industrial military complex and there is profit with big pharma, there will always be some kind of event or creation or boogeyman. They will use keeping people in a constant state of fear to comply. Number one, right? What happened here in the United States, right? Everybody jumped on the wagon and went, "Oh my, we have to do what we're told." Well, not everybody, but a lot of the majority, and that majority, if you guys remember, because I remember, villainized those of us that said, "No, I'm not doing it," right? And we were told that any information that we gave that was different than what was the approved narrative or the approved thing, we were accused of giving false information. We were given strikes. That I remember because it happened to me. So I know. So I want you to think about that. All right. Again, they will create conditions to keep you or to keep that money flowing. Right now, the situation with Ukraine and Russia, right? How many billions and billions of dollars have we sent over to Ukraine that were supposedly, right, going for weapons? Going what? Here's a question that I have. Okay, this is a curiosity question. Why are we, the United States of America, paying pensions of people in Ukraine? Why are we paying the doctors and the nurses over in Ukraine? Don't we have issues here in the United States of America that need to be dealt with, that need to be taken care of? You know, don't we have those situations that need to be addressed? But we're paying for these people in another country, and the amount of armaments that we've given them, because, well, now that they've been used, what do we have to do? Well, we have to make more. So, yeah, like Don says, right, and we're not even supporting our veterans. No, we treat our veterans horribly. We treat our veterans horribly in this country. It's unfortunate, but it happens. It happens. So, but like I said, you have to pay attention to history. You see what they've done. There's a playbook out there. They know the playbook works. We'll get you behind whatever XYZ event, and then you're going to be all in, and you're going to be like rah rah rah, and they do it over and over again, and people fall for it over and over and over again. I'll tell you what, guys, and like I said, I pay attention to stuff, and I love my country. Please don't get it twisted. I love my country. I love America. I think it is really truly the last bastion of the land of opportunity, because if you have a good work ethic and you're willing to work hard and you come up with something, you can make a lot of money. You can make a lot of money and you can do very, very well. Okay, so don't get me wrong on that one. And capitalism, honestly, is probably the best out there. We're going to do the egg count for New York in just a second, so just give me just 1 minute here. I want to make my point. So in that situation, like I said, we are a great country, but when 9/11 happened, right? When that happened, I felt that we were manipulated. And I'm not going to get into details of it. I could talk about it, but I don't want to get a strike on YouTube, because unfortunately you're not able to speak freely on here as I wish that we were able to. But I felt that we were manipulated. And so while everybody else, now I always flew my flag where we were at. We were down in Charlotte, in New York. And there's a difference between, spelled exactly the same, Charlotte, New York, and Charlotte, North Carolina. Same spelling, said differently. Why, I have no idea, but that's the way it was. But anyway, I always flew my flag. When that situation happened, I took mine down. And then everybody on the street had their flags up and rah, 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 let's go get them. Let's go get Al Qaeda and the boogeyman and everything else, because they got everybody worked up. And it is what it is, and that's because people are. Ed, when was the last time you fired your pistol? Old hippie, it's a good question. I fire my pistol on a regular basis. That's all I'm going to say about that. It's just not a showpiece. I definitely do practice, and I do fire my pistol, and so I will put that like that. Okay. The Patriot Act, real quick. I'm going to talk about this, and then we are going to do egg count. The Patriot Act was written years before 9/11, and because in the guise of safety and security, we allowed, and I say we, the United States of American citizenry, allowed the Patriot Act to get put in and passed. So what is a direct result of that? They spy on all of us now. Think about it. I mean, they have, let me rephrase that. They have the ability and they have the legal justification, right, to be able to spy on us. When you give up freedom in the guise of safety and security, you will have neither. And that was Benjamin Franklin that said that, right? So think about that. And that's exactly what we did as Americans after 9/11. Think about it. Do the history. Look it up. Pay attention. All right. How could a bill that was written well before an event happened, was it just waiting on a shelf until, okay, we can pull this out now and people are going to buy it and are going to do it, right? I don't know. I'm not saying that was what was done. I'm just saying. So, and thoughts on currency going all digital. I think they would love that how-to videos. I do believe that they would love to have that happen, because then they can track and control absolutely every aspect of it. And if you are not Joe Good Citizen, they could cut you off, right? You have no money available if it was all digital. I'm not a fan of the whole digital stuff. I don't like it at all. So, all right. Yeah, things that make you go, hmm. Again, just think, do history. A lot of manipulation has happened throughout the course of history and everything. And if you pay attention and you watch what happens, and it's done continuously. All right, so let's go ahead and we'll do the egg count for New York. So, how many eggs today? And yes or no for Miss Thickneck with the chickens in New York. So I'll give you guys a moment to get your guesses up there. And obviously, there's a lot more chickens in New York than there are down here in West Virginia right now. We will be increasing the flock, though. We will be increasing the flock. So I'll give you a moment to get your guesses in. So I did have to run the generator today. You'll see that video. I have a video coming up. But with the overcast weather that we've had, and it was funny because last year in November, and it's funny how that kind of worked out. Last year in November is when I had to do the same thing. It's not consistently like tomorrow's going to be a sunny day, so we should be good. We should get lots of sun. Panel or the batteries will get full again. But when you have several days in a row of inclement, cloudy, overcast weather, you're not bringing in enough power. So, all right, if you had the same exact guess as Dale from Ohio with two eggs today in New York and no for Miss Thickneck, then you are 100% correct. So congratulations to Dale. He has the correct guess for the chicks up in New York. So your mic sounds like you're talking through a paper towel tube. Anybody else feel hearing it that way? Maybe it might be your connection. I don't know. So Ed, we could hear the generator running when you were fixing the vent. Yeah, so no, that was not for mine. That was no, that generator that you heard running like in all the videos. That was Dave using the generator. He was camped out in the wolf layer next door here, and so he had that thing running nonstop. I was not. That had nothing to do with me. Yeah, everybody else was saying fine. Somebody saying it sounds scratchy. Most people are saying it sounds fine. So it might be your connection with the way you're hearing it. So if that's the case, I would sign out and sign back in, and maybe that might be better. So, but I have the heat on right now, and so you're maybe hearing some background stuff with that. But that would be the only thing that could cause any things. But no, my generator, I hadn't turned my generator on until today. That was when. Sometimes when I move my hand towards left hand, it makes a buzzing sound. Okay, all right. Well, thank you, Tony. But had thoughts on the upcoming pro-Palestine protests in D.C. on Friday. Who cares? Honestly, it ain't going to change nothing. It's not like they're going to go, "Oh my God, these people are protesting. We better stop." We don't make that call. We don't make that call, right? We're we're not the ones. We're supporting Israel, right? But we're not the ones making the call when the war stops or doesn't stop. Now, do we have influence with Israel? Of course we do. But with this situation, there's no way they're going to change the stance because a couple of Congress women, that are pro-Palestine and all that type of stuff. You think they're going to change the tune because of them? Not happening. I don't care how many people go down there and protest for pro-Palestinian stuff. It ain't going to make one bit of difference. So, you know, they'll feel like we're doing our part. Well, good for you because it ain't going to change nothing. As long as pockets are being lined and big business is making money, not going to happen. Nothing's going to change. So, lots of people yelling and taking a day off from work to hold signs. Yeah, that's about it. And again, guys, I'm going to tell you what, I am not a big fan of protesters, even if it's a cause I believe in. I think a lot of the times it does no good, to be honest with you. And that's just my take on it. And also, and have I not said in the past, and have I not been right with what I said in the past? If you are in the wrong situation at the right time in a protest and something goes down, you can get yourself jammed up. There's a date that comes to mind with that I talked about, and people said, "Hey, are you going, Prepreneurs One?" And I said, "Absolutely not." Guess what? Because I didn't go for that event, I was not visited by the FBI. I was not locked up and thrown in jail. You know, isn't that amazing how that works? You can get yourself in a real bad situation in a hurry in a situation when it comes to protests, and that's reality. That is reality. So, what do we got? 442 in the chat. We're 289 on the thumbs up. If you have not shot a thumbs up yet, I'm going to ask you again to please do that. And I do really appreciate that. It really does make a big difference with the algorithms. Also, again, if you are not subscribed to the channel, please subscribe. Make sure you hit that bell icon to get all notifications as well. And I thank you ahead of time. You really want to protest, guys? Do like they did with Budweiser. That's how you make yourself heard. You want to be heard? Do it with your wallet. That's how protests actually work. When you say, I'm not spending my money on this product anymore because I don't believe what their stance is on X, Y, or Z. That's how you make a difference. You hurt that big business where it hurts them the worst, and that is on the bottom line, whatever money they're making. And obviously, a lot of people with the whole situation with Budweiser were not happy with that situation. And it came back, that woke mentality came back and bit Budweiser right in the big O behind, right? So think about that. But, like I said again, there's ways to make yourself heard or those type of things. You know, you just got to pay attention. That's what it comes down to. So, but why don't these people fly to Israel and Palestine to protest? Yeah, right. No, they're gonna be doing their thing here. That's and whatever. Somebody's talking about male nurses. What's wrong with? Listen, I being a nurse. I've been a nurse for more than 30 years. Been involved with nursing for even longer. I was a 5 years first, then went back, got my nursing degree. You know, I have enjoyed working as a nurse. But I'll tell you right now, I will never go back into another hospital. I will never go back and work in another nursing home. I'm just not doing it. Private duty work I would do, but someone said male nurse. Well, so what? I'm going to tell you what. I'm going to let you guys all in on a secret about male nurses. Male nurses, men in the nursing field, right? Let me let you in on a secret, and I'm going to use a story that I usually tell people. So I had people say to me, "Oh, you're a male nurse," and I went, "Yeah," and they go, "Oh, so are you gay?" And I always did this, and I said, "Okay, well, let me ask you a question." I go, "What do you do for a living?" And this particular individual said, "Well, I do construction." I said, "Okay." I said, "Who do you work with?" He goes, "Well, I work with all men." I said, "Okay." I said, "I work with all women, being a nurse. Most of my bosses throughout my work history, being in a field that's dominated by women, I said, I work with all women." I said, "How many times at work have you gotten, and I'm not trying to be graphic here, but I said, how many times at work have you gotten laid?" He goes, well, I don't because I work with all men. I said, exactly. I said, I work with all women. I said, how many times I have scored in my job because I work with all women, and there are a percentage of men that are gay that work in nursing. That's a fact, right? But I'm surrounded by women. I have my choice, not and I don't want to be sounding like cocky or any of that type of stuff, but the situation is more available to somebody like me in the nursing field because I am surrounded by women. So yeah, have I hooked up with CNAs and other nurses? Absolutely, yes, I have. So I said to this person, so I wonder who's gay then, and it shut him up because I'm sorry, you know what? I crossed an imaginary line that says men don't go into nursing, right? That's a predominantly woman's field. But when you are passionate about something and you love to do something, you do that. So, but people can think whatever they want to think. I could care less. I could care less. Don't make no difference to me. You haven't lived my life. You haven't been in my shoes. You haven't seen what I've seen. But I will put it like this: I have done very well in the nursing field and not just making money. So that's all I'm going to say about that. But anyway, but yeah, it's just I love that when people get that like, oh, that's a bad thing. Screw you. Who cares? So Don Hill said, I loved working with male nurses when you need help lifting a patient. Oh, absolutely. You know how many times I would always say, if you need me for lift, just give me a holler. I'll help you. I don't care. We have the strength. Imagine that. So it's interesting. People, like I said, there's always going to be that judgment, and people are going to have their opinions, which is perfectly fine. Because you know what they say, folks? Ignorance is bliss. So when you're an ignorant person and you automatically assume because somebody works in a particular field, right? Does that mean? So let me ask you this now. Let's go with this one, and this is this is just an example. So women that become truck drivers, are they a bunch of bull dyke lesbians because they're driving truck? I don't think so. It's another opportunity. It's another avenue that they can make some money. So who cares? I respect anybody that works and pays their bills and takes care of their business and takes care of their family. So Larry said, I only like female nurses when bathing. Just saying. Well, that's fine, Larry. Yeah, stereotyping. Exactly, Bubba One. And it happens all the time. It happens all the time. And like I said, believe me, when it comes to that, I just laugh because I could tell you stories, but I won't on here because this is a very family friendly oriented channel. So there's certain things that I cannot share with you. So my niece has her master's in nursing, works in the CVS ER site, but can't lift over 25 pounds. She can write prescriptions. Well, there you go. Yeah. So, but all right. Let's do shout outs. What do you have? 407. We got 318. So let's keep those thumbs up coming. Just I really haven't been paying attention to much to that tonight because you guys got me going early, and we got directionally all over the place. But it happens. It's all right though. So if you have not shot a thumbs up yet, please do so to show support for the channel. I thank you for that. Also, it really makes a huge difference with the algorithms as well. So I do appreciate it for that reason as well. Also, again, if you are not subscribed to the channel, please subscribe. Make sure you hit that bell icon to get all notifications as well. All right, so we're going to start out with Lee Hills Homestead. And if you've been watching his channel at all, his dog just had puppies. It was her first litter ever, and she had 10 pups. He just put a video up about that. So very interesting. Jonathan said, how big do you think the Israel conflict will become? We can address that after the shout-outs. I will definitely talk about that more after the shout-outs. We have Icky Can up in Canada. Real good guy, living off-grid as well. Definitely check him out as well. There's Angry Prepper, and that is Jason down in New York City. Jason is very cool. You have Alaska Prepper. That is Rudy. Really like him as well. A lot of good information with his channel. There's Alaska Granny. You have Sean James with the Sean James channel and My Self Reliance. Two different channels. Same guy. Master builder. Amazing to watch him build and do what he's doing. Very cool. We have myself. I'm sorry, Demcat. Like my brain is twitching here. Demcat, like Demcat a lot as well. A lot of good information with his channel. You have Corporal's Corner. There's Bjorn Hansen. You have 80K Man up in the Adirondacks. There is Bizza Rizza Jizza, who does the Carrington Chronicles. A very interesting story. You can definitely get some good information out of that. There is Marfugal News. That's Adam and Dax out on the West Coast. Definitely check them out as well. A lot of good information there. They're out in Seattle. There is Magic Prepper in North Dakota. You have Wrangle Star. That's Cody. A lot of good information. Pick up a lot of tips with his channel. You have Red Poppy Ranch. There's Survival Lily coming at you out of Europe, letting you know what's going on over there. You have Kyle's Cabin. That's Kyle and Sierra doing their thing up in Minnesota. Nice young couple. Definitely interesting to watch their journey up there living off grid. Let's see. We have Bush Radical and Girl in the Woods, husband and wife team. Again, a lot of good information with them as well. They split their time between Michigan and Alaska. You have Green Greg's. A lot of good information on his channel, so definitely check him out. Southern Prepper 1, he has this Boots on the Ground series, and he gives a lot of information out there. So definitely check that out. There's Gray Man Prepping. You have Truly Tara 76. She does makeup videos and stuff like that. Real nice young lady, so definitely go show her some support. There's Doug and Stacy. Doug and Stacy have been around for a long time. A lot of good information on their channel, so definitely check them out. Sorry, I got something in my eye. You have the Nomadic Movement down in Panama. Nice young couple down there, showing what it takes to live off grid down there. There's the Green Dream Project out in Arizona. They showing you what it's like to live in the desert and what you have to do. My finger, that's in my eye. Thanks, Kimberly. Camping with Steve Wallace, who does stealth camping up in Canada. Really fun to watch him. It's just more entertainment for him than anything else. Bush Doctor Survival. There is Monkey Works. You have the Needy Homesteader. There's Boss of the Swamp. Boss of the Swamp is another master builder. Very interesting to watch him do what he does. There is Diamond with the Oppenheimer Ranch Project. Love Diamond. Real smart guy. Definitely check him out as well. You have Patera with the Appalachian Homestead. Again, straight shooter, says it like it is. I respect that. Okay. You have City Prepper. There's Lumina Acres. You have Suspicious Observer, letting you know what's going on with the sun, with the coronal mass ejections and everything like that. Really cool. Bear Independent, the Uneducated Economist. There is Bushcraft Bear in the Canary Islands of La Palma. You have Mary Greeley News, giving you all the latest information of what's going on with Yellowstone, with the earthquakes and uplift and everything like that. There is Adapt 2030. You have Malachi's Corner. Ice Age Farmer. If you're going to get your weather, there's only one guy you should be getting your weather from, and that is Ryan Hall Y'all. Ryan Hall's a great guy. Very passionate about the weather, and he gives back to the community in a huge way, which I think is absolutely awesome. There's Russell Brand. I like Russell Brand. He gives you the information, and he lets you decide what you want to do with it. I like that. I respect that. There's Deep South Homestead, another very family-friendly oriented channel. Definitely check them out as well. You have The Outsider up in Maine. Real good channel there. The Fit Farmer. There's Prep Rebel. You have Simple Life Reclaimed. There is Town Sense, showing you what it's like to live in the 1800s. I think that's interesting as well. You have The Prepared Mind. There's Pinball Preparedness down in Tennessee. There is East Tennessee Preparedness. You have The Economic Ninja. And last but not least, Little House Off Gritty. They are also in Tennessee. A lot of good channels out there, a lot of good information. People are putting other channels in the chat, which is absolutely fine. You can, I don't have a problem. I can't give everybody a shout out. I try to, do the best that I can. But I think that we're a small community and we should be supporting each other. And so that's why you think war will hit our land in the U.S. Yes, I absolutely do. And I still have my nursing school books and prescription drug books. Do you still have yours? No, Tony, I don't have those books anymore. That was a long, long, long time ago. That's a long time ago. I still do have some of the prescription med books, though. I still do have some of those because that gave you a lot of the what the drug is, interactions, side effects, all that type of stuff, which I think is very, very cool. There's a lot of great information. There's a lot, the updated stuff that they give you. I mean, like the Heimlich maneuver is not called the Heimlich maneuver anymore because there was some kind of conflict with that. Well, guess what? It's always going to be the Heimlich maneuver to me. So, when you have, what was the other thing? CPR has changed. CPR is not the same as it used to be. So now the new standard for CPR is completely different. So things get upgraded um, for the better or not. Who knows? Who can say? So let's put it like this. If something happens and if I give you old CPR or new CPR, you're going to be grateful that you're alive regardless of what kind of CPR I give you. That's, that's how that goes. But the other question was, do I think that how bad will things get? And I really think a lot of that's going to depend on how long the situation drags out, in the West Bank. How long until there is, if you will, a ceasefire, or if Israel says, "Screw it, we're wiping these." They want to destroy Hamas completely. That's what they want to do. So, again, it's going to come down to what Israel choices Israel makes, and if they can get the rhetoric fired up, and get the rest of the loyal disciples on board that want Israel and what they do, and then again, what would our reaction and what are other countries' reactions going to be? Could it get really bad? Yes, it could. Do I think there will be bloodshed in the United States if things get amped up? Yes, I do, because I do believe that there are sleeper cells in this country. You would be foolish to think that there wouldn't be, because of the simple fact is our borders are wide open, and these people can get in here as much as they want. And if somebody says, "Hey, the jihad or whatever is on, these people are going to go out there. There is a mindset in a group of them, and it's not all Muslim people. Let's be clear, okay? But there is a percentage of them that will go off and do what they feel that they need to do. So, which will cause panic and terror, which is exactly what it is intended to do. Again, there's going to be places that are not going to be touched. You know why there's places that are not going to be touched? Because the citizenry is armed. All right, they're going to go for soft targets. They're going to go for shopping malls. They're going to go for churches. They're going to go for schools. Concerts, high densely populated areas of people that are not armed. That's what their goal is always going to be because they can have the maximum amount of casualties, and they can cause a maximum amount of damage. You know, I don't think that West Virginia would be a place where they would go and look to do an attack because so many people are armed down here. And I'm not saying it's not possible. Don't get me wrong. Anything is possible, and these things can happen. But there would be more than enough people fighting back. So they're going to go. I think they'll go for places like Chicago, New York City, that have strict gun laws where the citizenry are not able to defend themselves. They'll go for places where you see it says gun free zone. Well, that all that says is to me when I see those signs, this is a gun free zone. All that says to me is this is a big target. Come and get us. So you know that's my take on it. So yeah, Texas is not a place where you screw around either. So yeah, highly populated areas. Yep, yep. So yeah, there's definitely it's there's situations out there that are not going to be pleasant or pretty. So we just have to pay attention. That's what we got to do. We just have to pay attention. So Uh, but anyway, let's do this. We're at 349. If you haven't shot that, please do so. Uh, let's go for 375. It's 25 more thumbs up. We're at 350. Let's see if we get 25 more before we sign off here, guys. So again, if you have not shot a thumbs up yet, please do so to show support for the channel, and I thank you ahead of time. Again, it really does make a big difference with the algorithm, so the more interaction, the better for the channel. It pushes us higher up in the rankings, so I do appreciate it for that reason as well. So thank you for that. Also, again, if you are not subscribed to the channel, please subscribe. Make sure you hit that bell icon to get all notifications as well. So where is everybody from tonight? Because we are Legion. We're all over the country. We're a huge network of people. Where's everybody from? We have Janet in BC, Canada. Delbert in Missouri in the Ozarks. Okie Forge in Nowhere, Oklahoma. West Coast of Florida with Kit. Canada with Emil. Beautiful Pennsylvania Wilds with Pennsylvania Granny. Omaha, Nebraska with Larry. Inverness, Florida with Clyde in the house. Dayton, Ohio with Rhonda. We got Alabama's in the house. The UP of Michigan with Dawn. Edgewater, Florida with Judy. Let's see, we have Trenton, Florida. Ecuador's in the house. Very cool. Glad to have you here. East Central Illinois. Central Virginia with Janet. Florida Central East Coast, I think it said. Palm Beach, Florida. We have Southwest Indiana with Brian. We have Iowa in the house. Palm Beach, Florida with Nancy. Missouri's in the house. Waterloo, New York with Sharon. West Georgia. LA, Lower Alabama. Very nice. Macedonia, Michigan with Valerie. Shamokin, Pennsylvania with Jonathan. We have Pine Ridge, Florida with Big G. Washington State with Stormweather. Southwest Arkansas with Sharon. Troy, North Carolina with Maverick. Southwest Iowa with Vicky. Southwest Texas with Danny. West Central Ohio with Dale. Bob in Kentucky. We got Penny up in Maine. Fayetteville, North Carolina with Carol. Western New York with Karen. Chloe, West Virginia with Betty. Let's see. We have Northwest Arkansas with Angela's in the house. Homer, Michigan with Melissa. Peterstown, West Virginia with Troy. Carmel, New York with James. We got Ridge Runner down in West Virginia as well. So again, guys, we are truly all over the country. We're all over the world. We're a huge, huge network of people. We're the ones that are awake. We're the ones that can make a difference. We got Cook's Cove, Newfoundland, Canada with Mar. Very nice. So, we're all over the place. And we're the ones that I think are going to make a big difference, especially, after an event. We can try to make a difference now if we can, which I think we should try to do if we can. Mann County, West Virginia. Okay. So, but that's we just do the best we can, and when the time comes, we try to help out as much as we can. I want to thank my moderators who do an absolutely awesome job keeping the chat clean. You guys are awesome. Wow, we blew through 375. We're 381. We got Troutman, North Carolina with Troy. So you guys are awesome. We don't have time to try to get 19 more to get to 400. But if you guys want to try to push for 400, let's see how close you guys can get before we jump off of here. That would be cool. So, again, my moderator's do an awesome job. I appreciate you guys, ladies and gentlemen, that moderate for me. And you guys are awesome. So thank you. I appreciate all your guys' support, too, being here. It's a lot of fun, and I enjoy these chats, and I like the interaction. And I will tell you this, right? Bob said, first time on your channel, like it. Well, thank you, Bob. I appreciate it. I will be very honest, and I think most people would say that they are too, but they won't always admit it. I am very opinionated. I have strong opinions. I'm not afraid to share those opinions. If you are offended by my opinions, that's a you problem. That is not a me problem. Okay? So, I say it like it is. I have a lot of experience. I've been around this planet for long enough to know. I watch how the game is played, and how we're manipulated on a constant basis. So definitely pay attention to that. So we're at 387. So 13 more, guys. Can we hit 400 before we jump off of here? So if you haven't shot that thumbs up yet, let's do that. Let's see if we can get it. Let's see if we can hit. If 400 would be, I didn't think we would hit 350. So we're 10 away. We're at 390. So, but yeah, not a fan, Bob. Not a fan. He needs to be retired. That's what he needs. He needs to be put in a nursing home where he belongs. So anyway, but anyway, guys. Remember, we truly are all in this together. We are one race called the human race. As soon as we can figure that one out, we really will be in much, much better shape. We have to stop letting them divide us using race, religion, political affiliation. All that is nonsense. It means nothing. If we could come together as human beings, we could accomplish anything that we want to accomplish. And that's a fact. You know, what we've done down here at the homestead down here with the group is a great example of that. People coming together and working together and making things happen. It is absolutely doable and it could happen. So we're 398. We need two more, guys. Two more thumbs up to hit that. 399. So we need one more now. But anyway, also remember, guys, to hug and kiss the ones that you love. Tell them every single day. Tomorrow is not guaranteed. We never know what's going to happen in life. So it's really important to tell the people that we care about every day how we feel. That's really, really important. No guarantees in life. Also remember STD, step, thing, and day. One step at a time, one thing at a time, and one day at a time. It is my favorite acronym because people think it means something else, but it doesn't. If you work methodically, you set realistic goals, set about the making them happen, they can happen. And that's all it takes. It really does. You just got to work at it methodically, and things do come together. It's staying away from negative people telling you what you cannot accomplish, setting realistic goals, and then making them happen. And that's what it comes down to. And it doesn't have to be about prepping. It doesn't have to be about living off grid. It can be whatever dreams and aspirations that you have that you want to see happen. So that's kind of where I'm at with that. So we're at 411 on the thumbs up, guys. So we blew past 400 as well. So that's very cool. You guys are awesome. Appreciate the support, guys. Please be safe. Continue to get ready and do what you got to do. That's important. Okay. Vicky says you have no idea how much that STD has helped me get my things done. Thank you. Oh, I'll tell you what. I use it myself, Vicky, and that's why I started to share it with people because it's such a simple acronym, but it makes so much sense and it works. It really works. So anyway, be safe, everybody. Keep prepping. I will see you on the next video tomorrow, and have a great night. Prepper Nurse 1 out for now.